ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ 28% ਦੀ ਟੈਕਸ ਲੱਗੇਗਾ ਜੋ ਕਿ 1 ਅਕਤੂਬਰ 2023 ਤੋਂ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਦਰਅਸਲ ਕੇਂਦਰੀ ਵਿੱਤ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨਿਰਮਲਾ ਸੀਤਾਰਮਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਾਅ ਤੇ ਲੱਗੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਕਮ ਤੇ 28% ਦੀ ਟੈਕਸ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ 1 ਅਕਤੂਬਰ 2023 ਤੋਂ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਸੀਤਾਰਮਨ ਨੇ ਜੀਐਸਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਦੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਯੋਜਿਤ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਦਿੱਲੀ, ਗੋਆ ਅਤੇ ਸਿੱਕਮ ਨੇ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਅਤੇ ਕਸੀਨੋ ਤੇ 28% ਦੀ ਟੈਕਸ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਦੀ ਸਮੀਖਿਆ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਦੂਜੇ ਰਾਜਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਜੀਐਸਟੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲੈਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਿਖਰ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਜੀਐਸਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੇਂਦਰੀ ਵਿੱਤ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਅਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਾਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਨਿਧੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਨੇ। ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਟੈਕਸ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਸੋਧ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਹੋਈ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਦੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ, ਕਸੀਨੋ ਅਤੇ ਘੋੜਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਦੌੜ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੱਗਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਕਮ ਤੇ 28% ਦੀ ਦਰ ਨਾਲ ਜੀਐਸਟੀ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਹੋਈ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਰੂਪਰੇਖਾ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਬੈਠਕ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸੀ। ਸੀਤਾਰਮਨ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਤ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਟੈਕਸ ਲਗਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਵਿਰੋਧ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜਦਕਿ ਗੋਆ ਅਤੇ ਸਿੱਕਮ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਟੈਕਸ ਖੇਡ ਦੇ ਕੁੱਲ ਮਾਲੀਆ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ GGR ਤੇ ਲਗਾਇਆ ਜਾਵੇ, ਨਾ ਕਿ ਦਾਅ ਤੇ ਲੱਗੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਰਕਮ ਤੇ। ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਵਿੱਤ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕਰਨਾਟਕ, ਗੁਜਰਾਤ, ਮਹਾਰਾਸ਼ਟਰ ਅਤੇ ਉੱਤਰ ਪ੍ਰਦੇਸ਼ ਸਮੇਤ ਹੋਰ ਰਾਜ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਬੈਠਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਏ ਗਏ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਲਾਗੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਉਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕੇਂਦਰ ਅਤੇ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਕਾਨੂੰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਬਦਲਾਅ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਗੇਮਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਨਵਾਂ ਟੈਕਸ 1 ਅਕਤੂਬਰ 2023 ਤੋਂ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਸੰਭਾਵਨਾ ਹੈ।
Council in its last meeting had taken a decision about taxing all the betting, gaming related activities, casinos, horse racing, online games, and therefore in the last meeting when it was all discussed, after 3 full years of the GOM having done its job, it was decided, and I'm just putting it briefly, that all of them or each one of them will be taxed at 28% on face value. Now this meeting's agenda was, having taken that decision, the enabling provisions and amendments that are to be done in the central GST law, post which the respective states will have to do their own, in such a way that sometime after a couple of months we'll be able to implement the decision of the 50th GST Council. So today the meeting had a specific agenda of what are those amendments which have to be made, their language, and to take the view of the council. In that the discussion went on the agenda, but equally I must say Minister from Delhi wanted the whole thing reviewed. First, in her intervention she said this has to be reviewed, this should be sent back to GOM, and particularly on the online gaming. The discussion went on. Then Goa and Sikkim, who have interests in casino, also felt that the decision taken last time does hurt their interests, although they are in favor of a higher taxation, because today what is prevailing there is about 18% on GGR. Now the council's decision in the last 50th meeting was 28% on face value. So Goa felt that they are not against increasing tax, but they wanted it on the GGR, and therefore there was again Goa's appeal. And I wish to mention here that the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa as well, along with the Finance Minister, was present at the meeting, and both of them very, very clearly appealed, saying please can there be a relook. So that was another. And the third was, of course, Sikkim along with Goa wanted to have a reconsideration on casinos. Then Tamil Nadu minister wanted, because in Tamil Nadu online games are banned, they had an apprehension that if taxing at 28% is coming through, will it make what their ban has been, will it nullify it, will it undermine it, will it dilute it? So he had some apprehensions, and he had written a letter to me earlier today, much before the meeting, saying, please make sure that our concern is taken on board, and so on. So, all in all, today's decision to amend the CGST and the language which has to be used and the sections where the corrections have to happen have all had a discussion. Even as I said about Delhi, Goa, Sikkim, and that one particular apprehension on online gaming which is banned in Tamil Nadu, there were other ministers who felt that we've already spent too much time discussing this. 3 years is a long time, and that we should implement the decision of the 50th Council, which was taken last time, at the earliest and not delay it any further. So, ministers belong to all very many state governments, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal, all of them felt this, the decision taken in the last council meeting for 28% at face value on each one of them should be implemented, and implemented at the earliest. So I've named those states which I've mentioned, that Maharashtra, Gujarat also joined in this group of states which wanted this implemented in the very same way as the decision was taken in the 50th Council, and implemented sooner. So the presentation went into the details of where the amendments will have to happen, what kind of amendments will have to happen, and it was also put to the House saying, when can we start implementing this? The reason why that had to be asked was because states have to pass their own legislation subsequent to the center. Some of the states in fact came out to say, we'll immediately, if in states where the sessions are going on, they said we'll do it now. Some of them said we'll bring an ordinance, but it has to be implemented. So the sum and substance is, of course, there was also this concern saying the decision is not unanimous. Goa, Delhi said decision is not unanimous. Both Revenue Secretary and I have reminded them that once earlier on a question of lottery, the decision was not unanimous. So yes, whilst the council's legacy has been on a positive consensus-based decision making, there are times, once earlier and now, where the decision is not consensus-based. So this time you have Delhi wanting online to go back to the group of ministers, and therefore dissenting. Goa and Sikkim wanted a higher tax, yes, but on the GGR possibly, whilst the council had taken in the last meeting that it should be on face value. Only with respect to casinos, that is Goa and Sikkim. And therefore, the decision to amend the CGST had these dissenting voices: Delhi on online game, casino for Goa and Sikkim, and Tamil Nadu on online games having been banned. What are your changes going to affect us like? So they wanted a language to be put in saying where the ban has happened, obviously tax cannot be levied. So on that, Revenue Secretary had agreed, saying that he will give a language in the amendment so that Tamil Nadu's ban is taken cognizance of even in the amendments. So that is where today's outcome is. The Secretariat will work together. We'll get a amendment to the CGST taken up at the earliest, hopefully even in this session. And when the question of when to implement it came, 1st October is when it is expected, by which time the states also will pass their amendments to their state laws.